Okay, so good day everyone. My name is Juliet Canyas, and today we will be tackled about the principles of movement in the water. Okay, so first, let us define what is principles movement in the water. So it is a basic understanding of how the body moves in the water is needed for teachers to be able to plan effective activities for their swimmers. So teacher must have know the body moves in the water for them to teach to their students or their swimmers. Okay, so we have here buoyancy and gravity. Buoyancy refers to, can be described as the power of a fluid to exert upward force in a body placed in it, while the gravity is, it can be described as the force that attracts objects toward the earth. Okay, so when we say buoyancy, it is the upward force, no? Kanang kakuan mo anang say tawag like kanang maglutaw. So this force is equals to the weight of the fluid displaced by the object. So while the buoyancy no, while the gravity is it is the downward force. The gravity pulls all objects with mass towards the center of the earth. Para kanang mulutaw bitaw siya. So gravity is the pulling an object down, while the buoyancy is the upward force exerted by a fluid that opposes gravity. So si gravity is pulling an object down, while si buoyancy is upward force para mulutaw siya. Okay, so next is we have here resistance in the water. So water creates more resistance to a person than air does. It's very important that every effort is made by the teachers and their swimmers to minimize the resistance when swimming. Okay, so profile resistant, which is frontal. This resistance is influenced by the shape of the body. A swimmer with a large cross-sectional area will create more resistance. Next is the skin resistance, which is the surface or the viscous drag. As the body moves, the water exerts a frictional force on the layer of fluid next to the body, which slows it down. So next is the frontal or lateral resistance, which is the form of or the wave drag. This resistive force acts when the air and the water meet and has a large impact on the overall resistance experienced by the swimmer. So the next is the eddy resistance, which is the tall drag. It is the movement of water has a tendency to create eddy current, which are caused by the water filling in behind the swimmer as they move forwards. This tends to pull the swimmer back. So we have here an examples of resistance. First is the profile resistance. It is a swimmer with a poor body position in any stroke presents a very large surface area to the water, causing greater resistance. If a swimmer who performs a push and glide with one hand on top of the other, elbows straight and body horizontal, will be subject to only a small amount of resistance. So the next is skin resistance. If a swimmer wearing a long baggy shorts will experience more vicious drag. So si swimmer is magwear siya og kanaang mga jeans like ning ana. So the more nga magsige siya kanaang langoy, ang pag-drag niya sa water is hinay pod kaayo kay bugat man ang kuan tanang jeans. And the next is frontal or lateral resistance. If a swimmer performing front crawl enters the hand palm down, and the presses straight down instead of thumb. First finger with the arm extended forwards. So the eddy resistance, a swimmer performing front crawl with a face out of the water creates a large hole behind the body and legs, causing eddy currents to work in opposition to the swimmer. So the next is the foundational principles of swimming. So with buoyancy, there are also other foundational principles that help swimmers develop a successful range of swimming strokes: breath control, balance, and body position. So there are three no part of foundational principle, which is the breath control, body position, and the balance. So first, breath control. Breath control during swimming means inhaling when the face is either raised or titled, just breaking the surface, and hold your breath or blowing bubbles while your face is submerged in the water. Rhythm while doing this is the key. One runs the risk of taking water into the nose or mouth during the swimming. While this is a risk, it's not dangerous but just unpleasant. First, inhale. Face raised or titled, breaking the surface. So you don't have to panic. Dapat kana ang be on your mind nga kanang ay makarelate ra sad siguro ta tanan no, like kanang maligo tag swimming pool nga mutos mo ta sa tubig atong naong ato sa ilalom kanang muutong ta. And the second is hold breath. Mo na ni siya muutong. Face submerged in water. Syempre muutong ka dito sa di jud ka kakuan kan di ka kaginhawa kay na may tubig. So the third is the exhale. Blow bubbles under the water. So the more you blow bubbles, mura kag kanang mo mas mo kanang mutaas pa ang imuhang check ko ana niya. Kanang hangin adto sa ilawom sa tubig. So next is the body position. Body position while swimming means maintaining length by keeping the body and limbs long. Think about reaching for the opposite ends of the pool and about keeping your body just below the water surface. Develop your core strength with dry land training. So there are types of body composition, which is maintain length, keep body and limbs long, reach, aim for opposite ends of the pool. Third is stay just below surface, keep body positioned near the water surface. Fourth is develop core strength, use dry land training to improve body position. So next is the balance in swimming. So a stronger core will improve your ability to balance, is an essential foundation for efficient swimming. This skill means being in total control of the head, torso, and limbs, and really thinking about where these body parts are in relation to each other. When swimming on your front, think about pushing your chest and lungs down to keep your hips ups. Think about your pull kick, and if your core muscles are engaged, maintain the correct body position. So naa siya diri pyramid, as you can see. In the top corner, we have the core strength, body awareness, followed by proper technique, and the last is the efficient swimming. Okay, so next is the reducing resistance. There are a number of ways to reduce resistance. First, horizontal body position, well-fitting swimwear, streaming, wave reduction, and last is the smooth controlled actions. So there are also key takeaways of this topic, which is the understand water principles, which is the buoyancy, gravity, and resistance. Most Second one is the master foundational skills, breath control, balance, and body position. Minimize resistance, proper technique, and equipment. Continuous improvement, practice and refine skills. So, sige lang gid ka og practice just to make it perfect, no? And that's all of my topic. Thank you.